All right, today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to perform a kind of digital autopsy on a tiny, tiny fragment of internet content, just to see how many secrets it's hiding. So, let's open up the case file.
Okay, so here it is. This is our subject. And believe it or not, this is everything we have to work with. A YouTube video title and a 2-character transcript. The video itself, it's gone, vanished. But these digital ghosts, they're still here. This is our evidence file, and our entire investigation hangs on what we can get from this.
So you're probably looking at this and thinking, what's the big deal? It looks like a bunch of random noise, right? But our whole mission today is to show you that even the tiniest digital fragments can be decoded. So let's see if we can build a complete picture from just these little clues.
Okay, first things first. We're going to start with our biggest piece of evidence, the title itself. Let's break this thing down, piece by piece, and see what language it's speaking.
And this is where it gets super interesting. You can almost think of this title as a kind of Rosetta Stone for this video. First, you've got Trollface Skull Edit. Right away, that tells us the subject, the Trollface meme, and the tone. Something dark, something edgy. Then there's Kiss Edits. That's got to be our creator's channel name, their signature. And shorts plus those hashtags, well, those are basically the GPS coordinates, telling the YouTube algorithm exactly who to show this to and what little internet subculture it belongs in.
So let's zoom in on that word edit for a second. It's super important. This isn't someone making something from scratch, like an animation. No, an edit is a whole art form online. It's all about taking existing stuff, clips from movies, memes, whatever you can find, and remixing it into something totally new and stylized, usually with some cool music and a bunch of flashy effects. And the fact that the creator's name is Kit Edits, yeah, that pretty much confirms this is what they do.
And then there's the word shorts. Another huge clue. This one tells us about the physical shape and size of the video. Just from that one word, we know it was shot vertically, for a phone screen. We also know it was fast, like under a minute long. So we're not talking about some deep dive documentary here. This was designed to be quick, punchy, and perfect for endless scrolling.
And those hashtags, think of them like digital breadcrumbs. They're the last piece of this puzzle. To us, they look like simple labels, right? A way to find stuff. But for the creator, and more importantly for the YouTube algorithm, they're signals, they're instructions, basically saying, hey, show this to people who are into the whole troll face thing. It's literally how these online communities find each other and grow. Okay, I think we've squeezed every last drop of information out of that title. Now, it's time for the really weird part. The most mysterious clue we have, the audio. Or what's left of it. Just 2 little characters. Take a look. Ooh and Ra. That's it. That's the entire soundtrack. And you can see, right? They just look completely out of place next to that English title. It's a total anomaly, and we've got to figure it out. So what on earth could this mean? Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. Check this out. These aren't just any 2 Japanese characters. They're from 2 completely different writing systems. The first one, ooh, that's hiragana. It's for, standard Japanese words. But the second one, ra, that's katakana. That's typically used for foreign loanwords or for emphasis, kind of like italics. So why mix them? It's a huge clue that we're probably not looking at a real word here. It's much more likely just a sound. So let's put on our detective hats. What are the possibilities? Could it just be a sound effect, like a grunt or something? Or maybe it's a tiny piece of a song lyric from a Japanese pop song. Or hey, maybe the transcription is just bad, right? But honestly, given that we're talking about a troll face edit, I'm betting it's that last one. A totally weird, nonsensical sound clip that was picked because it's so strange. For the meme value. All right, we've taken apart the title, we've dissected that weird little transcript, all the clues are on the table. Now it's time for the big reveal. Let's put all the pieces together and see if we can build a profile of a video we've never actually laid eyes on. And boom, there it is, the whole picture, built from just a few fragments. We can be pretty darn confident that this was a short, vertical YouTube short made for your phone. It was an edgy, kind of dark remix, an edit of the troll face meme, probably with a skull in it somewhere. And the soundtrack? It had that weird 2-syllable Japanese sound clip. The whole point? To jump on a trend and be part of that specific online subculture. See? It all just clicks right into place. So, okay, we solved the mystery of one random video. Who cares, right? Well, here's the thing. This was never really about just one forgotten YouTube short. This whole exercise, it's about learning how to read the language of the internet. And that is the real takeaway here. We are swimming in these digital fragments every single day. And learning to just pause for a second, to actually look at them, analyze them, and figure out what they mean, that's an absolutely essential skill for getting by in the world today. It's digital literacy, plain and simple.
You know, what we just did wasn't some kind of magic trick. It was a method, a process. We looked at the metadata, the title and tags for context. We figured out the rules of the format, a short. We came up with a few educated guesses based on the little data we had, and then we put it all together. This is a toolkit, and it's a toolkit that you can use too.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you're scrolling through your feed and you see some weird title or a strange comment or a meme that makes absolutely no sense, don't just swipe past it. Stop for just a second and ask yourself, what story is this tiny little fragment trying to tell me? Because the clues, well, they're always there, just waiting for a detective like you to find them.